That's with myself, Michael Edwards, the Crazy Pilgrim. We've also got with us the usual guests of the Grumpy Loyal Andy and the Green Giant Carl Bernard. And we are joined tonight. We have the pleasure of Travis Anderson, who is a Sunderland fan that has joined us on recent chats and the Sunderland preview that we did on Thursday. So we've got a Sunderland fan's view of the game. Top bloke, he's given some. We've had some great little chats about the result yesterday. We hope to get some more Sunderland fans into the session. And we will welcome any other fans that want to come in and give their thoughts on their game where we've got time. So by all means, I'm going to share some graphics and stuff with you all even tonight, so that we can try and add a bit more interaction with this. But we shall start with the match yesterday. I think after the sort of 2 draws and the defeats, to Stoke and that horrible one against Wednesday, we've all seen the improvements that were coming since that Wednesday game. And you know what? This just shows what craziness the Championship is. And Marcus said this last night when we were on a live, that you had us losing the Wednesday 4-0, then you had Sunderland beat Wednesday 4-0, and then we went and beat Sunderland 3-2. This is the crazy world that is the Championship. But do you know what? A massive relief to get that win off Rooney's back and the team's back, because they have been putting in the efforts, and superb. There's lots of takeouts from the game yesterday to discuss, but I'm going to fire it over to Carl quickly. So Carl, just give us your brief thoughts on that game. What a relief, eh?
Yeah, massive monkey off our backs, isn't it? Getting our first win, not just for the club, but obviously Rooney as well. And hopefully that will take away some of the slack he's been getting in the press, especially by those 2 bozos from the Second Tier podcast who just keep on harping on about it, don't they? So I'm glad we got a win now, and hopefully they can shut up for a few weeks. But yeah, really impressed. I think it's been coming for the last few weeks.
Cheers, Mark.
Great mid-flow. Yeah, it's been coming the last few weeks, obviously, with the two home draws, which really... the home draw against Hull, which I think we deserved the 3 points out of that one, and the Stoke one. Obviously, I know it was a loss, but I think we were quite unlucky not to come away with some points from that one as well. The team's been gelling over the last few weeks. Brilliant. Thanks for that.
So, we'll give some context to this, and it might well be that we got too many on.
Fire away, Mike.
Yeah, first of all, thanks everybody that is joining in. I can see loads that are coming in. Lots of names to read out, which I will do in a minute, and some great comments. Thank you for the follows. Any gifts and that tonight are also welcome. I have got some sound effects going on. It's just a funny one that a guy that we all follow, and he just does loads of stuff with chilies. Andy will give you a bit more context in a minute. So we just love his little anecdote that he says. So when you follow and when you gift, you will see that tonight. So if we hear it a lot, then we know we're getting a lot of love and attention. So Ryan, thank you for your hearts, and also Kirsten Chapman again as well. Thank you for yours. So Andy, we were in the Hyde Park Social. I was positive. I put out a positive video. We were sort of sat there having a pint and a pasty for a £5, which is an absolute bargain. So thank you, Andy, for the invite there. And then we saw the team lineup, and there was a bit of a no Rami Al-Haj, but Obafemi was starting. But the surprise, which I know you're a fan, was Callum Wright for me. So yeah, go on. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, Callum Wright. I do like Callum Wright. I don't think it was one of his better games, but he did put himself about. He tried to get more into the game as it went on, but yeah, he wasn't cutting the mustard for us really. I thought Sunderland were, the better side in the first half. Easily the better side in the first half. Their football was slick. It was there was some great movement, and their number 10, Roberts, I think he was called. It was a pain in the neck, and Mundell was a pain in the neck all afternoon. But fair play to them. That's what you'd expect from a team like that. That's some chili oil. So, it was. Carl, we're not going to get through this tonight, are we, guys?
Hey, this is all fun. Go on, Andy.
I thought Sunderland were fantastic, and the second half, Argyle was just a different animal. They came out. There was more fight. There was a lot of. I think Rooney must have given them a right sort of roasting at half time.
Yeah,
and they came out a different side. So fair play. I mean, you can see that Sunderland wanted it really badly, because at the end of the game, their players were on the deck, and they were sort of spent out. They were just running, and running at us all the time. So fair play.
Yeah. Cheers, Lucas.
Thanks, Luke.
I'm going to go on mute because I'm going to be laughing else. Let's jump into anything else, mate.
We've got cheers, Andy. We've got Travis, who's a Sunderland fan, with us. As those of you that are just joining us, so thanks, Finn, PAFC. I might have to turn that off in a minute because it is constant, isn't it? But we love it. This is all about fun. So, Travis, obviously it's your first defeat. It's typical that it's the manager of the month curse, it seems, again. So you couldn't quite make your 5th game in a row record. How did you sort of see it? Because your team lineup was quite strong, wasn't it? Which is what we would have expected, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I messaged you before the match here. When I saw how we were playing, I was thinking, Christ, we're coming out quite attacking against us, which I thought would be doing the quite opposite, because out of 4 wins, the team's going to be a bit tired anyway. We're playing out the same team again. You just think, well, the last couple of times we've been to home park, it's been draws, defeats. So in reality, we should have looked on a wider scale of that as well and played more the defensive side. And I feel like, first half we played well. It was kind of the same as last season, watching the match. We always either play well in one half and then do crap in another. But I feel like, the first half it looked like we were playing how we would normally do for the first couple of games. But I feel like the second half, or even the first half, we had marked really all the time. And we had about 3 to 4 lads there marking them constantly down that left side. And I feel like every time they got the ball, they were getting past. So it was a bit disappointing for my eyes.
Sorry. Yeah, I tell you what, Travis. I think, and thanks for the gifts, Freddie. I think what was interesting, if I give sort of, if we pick up on the first half, because Sunderland definitely had the quality there, young squad, you could see it, and it was always going to be sort of how would Argyle start, and would sort of really sort of dictate how the game might go. And I felt we were very, from an Argyle point of view, we were very disjointed. We were struggling to find a pass, then make a pass. JB for me had a shocker of a first half, and so did Sissoko. I mean, I've seen a couple of, I think the odd comment from a Sunderland fan about Sissoko being, a quality player, and in a highlight yesterday. He was in the second half. If you look at Sissoko and see that he gets the ball where he drives forward, but what he was doing too much of in the first half was step overs, trying to get himself into the box, and then 3 players would come on him, and he would lose the opportunity to pit the ball in. And it was when he did that and pit the ball in the second half that led to that Whittaker first goal. But I think we were certainly a little bit all over the show, Travis, and I think the only thing for you guys, I suppose, is the quality of finishing wasn't really there in the first half to maximise. Would that be fair?
To be honest, I feel like we were quite lucky with the pen that we got. In my opinion, it wasn't a penalty, but I feel like we should have put more of a chance into bed. We should have had that other goal as well, I feel like. It does happen now and again as well, with the football.
Sorry, buddy, go on. Andy. Right, far away. I'm going to turn that off now because it's a little bit too much. So if I can turn it off, that is. So sorry, go on, mate.
Yeah, so like I was saying, it's just it's like football. It was just one of them games where we had the chances, but we didn't put them to bed. Every team has that game, and it's heartbreaking to watch, but. To be honest, the first half we played really well, but the second half, like I said to you before, if you press us in our centre mid and come out strong up with us, I knew that we were going to get a bit tired now, because I saw that against the Portsmouth match where the last 15-20 minutes we were getting tired, and we got an own goal there as well with 09. but I knew that it was going to happen. So I feel like I was quite right with our interview before.
Yeah, I think, sort of, Carl, I can see there's a few that I know that are waiting in the lobby, so I'll bring Ryan and Blazonat in and others later on in a second. But, Carl, that sort of penalty, like I said, it looked like a penalty from where I was sat. I know you're just a couple of blocks over to the left, but, sort of watching the replays, have to admit it's an absolute howler, isn't it, from the ref?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was kind of more directly behind Mumba when he was chasing him down. I know, like Rooney said, he was the wrong side of Chris Rigg, which I kind of agree with. But from where I've seen it and the replays, he wasn't tripped. I don't think he was touched at all or clipped his heel. He literally placed his hand on his back and he just went down too easily. But I suppose if that happened for us, we'd all call for it, wouldn't we? The one on Hardy, I think, was a bit more of a stronger appeal. I think it's quite clever of Hardy to kind of dash in front of him and kind of arch and get kind of like a little shove in his back. I think that was more of a pen for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really soft penalty for me.
Yeah, it was. Andy, your thoughts? Because like me, I think you agreed. You were like, yeah, it's a definite penalty to them, and in the end, it wasn't, was it?
Well, I looked at it from sort of green tint glasses, right? And I saw what you saw. Really, I saw Mumba's hand go into the lower of his back, and the guy falling over. Now, how sort of tough that sort of contact was, we won't know. But it looked, looking on TV last night, it looked really harsh. That it was a pen, but the refs give that sort of stuff, and linesman's got to sort of support him in that as well. Hardy's. Again, as Carl said, he was very clever getting into the box, and I think the defender, I think it's the guy who scored the own goal as well, it just barged him and he went down Hardy, so he's going to get a pen. I think the referee was a bit more embarrassed that he gave a soft pen against us, that maybe he wanted to even the scores up there. I don't know, maybe wrong.
Yeah, I think there's an element of that, because he took quite a while to make the decision, and Carl's right. He got himself in Hardy did in a good position to sort of win it. And I must add, and I added the point just now that was also from Sissoko slamming the ball in. Thank you for that, Josh, for the follow. Slamming the ball in without like dilly dallying and trying to do too many step overs. So I think it was fair. I mean, what I'm pleased about is that we actually got the equaliser before the penalty, because obviously a penalty like that, it can always make the opposition sort of heads drop and stuff like that, and it's a young squad, as Travis has said to us when we were talking about Sunderland the other night. So I think that was quite powerful. Ryan, I brought you in, so good evening, mates. So have you calmed down, or are you still buzzing from yesterday?
I'm still buzzing. I mean, obviously, it's always going to be one that I'm going to be buzzing about, because obviously they are a team that I don't like, due to it being my second team's local derby.
Oh yeah, Travis, he's a Newcastle fan, by the way.
No, I'm not.
I'll just keep my fingers crossed it's all right.
I'm Middlesbrough, not.
Oh, sorry. Sorry for swearing at both of you.
Smuggy instead. Oh, yeah. I don't know what's worse.
But it's hard for me, especially when they're in the same division. But I know where my loyalties lie.
Yeah, I fully understand it's where your heart lies, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't take it from you.
We're all about having other fans and that in here, and as long as everybody keeps it clean and sensible and friendly, we'll allow people on. I'm just going to quickly go into some of these comments, of which there are tons. So thank you to everybody that's joined us. Craggy recently, Liam. We have got an Exeter fan that's dropped in. Sorry for swearing at all Plymouth fans and myself there. Simo, Simbella, Croft, Wayne, Louise, Jacob, just going through some of the comments. A few people saying both pens, Dylan, both pens were definitely never penalties, but the ground reaction, it did feel a bit like that, Dylan, to be fair, because he did take a split second or two and then blew up for the Hardy one. What else have we got in here? Will we stay up? We will stay up next this season. Drew, I think we need to try and get a player on here every week. if you have any contacts, Drew, or anybody does, we'll quite happily get a player on. But I don't think the Argyle PR department will allow that. So, yeah, look, I think sort of the first half, like I said, for me, was very frustrating and disjointed. And I actually felt that we had, from an Argyle point of view, obviously, that we had fallen back a little bit because it just didn't feel like we knew what we were doing. I felt Callum Wright in midfield just wasn't. I just couldn't understand why he was on. I did want Rami Al-Haj to start, and we'll talk about Rami's short stint later on. But yeah, it was just a surprising lineup for me that yesterday with him in there, and I just felt Obafemi, he didn't really get the ball, did he? And I think that was frustrating because it just wasn't the tactics or the starting 11 that really worked or would work for Obafemi's favour and the style of play that he works to. Andy, would you agree?
Yeah, he does work really hard. A lot of running off the ball. We just needed that little bit extra from. I thought he wasn't doing much in the first half. Obafemi. When Hardy was introduced to the game, it changed a bit because he knows those runs and was making those runs. Sissoko knows where he is. It's difficult because who do you choose? I'd have them both up there, really, but we just need someone like Al-Haj in there behind, sort of feeding the ball. I thought Al-Haj was a little bit like Azaz. I'm not going to say he was the same realm as Azaz, but he was certainly sort of a threat and comfortable on the ball, and he could be the key that unlocks the door, really.
Yeah, just seen Dylan's comment. A game against Sunderland, Hardy needs to start. A game against West Brom, who did win 3-0 today, Obafemi needs to start. It's the biggest noticeable for me with Obafemi yesterday and say Hardy is that Obafemi wasn't wanting to hound all the defenders down and all that sort of stuff. He was very much just waiting sort of for the ball to come to him, which made him look like actually he just wasn't doing much in the game. And knowing that we didn't start with Rami, I partly think, like you just alluded to, that maybe we should have started with Hardy up front with Obafemi, so that at least you've got the track backing down, closing down. The players, in the Sunderland defence, because that's something that Hardy is very, very good at doing, and it does force mistakes. So a bit of a no-show for Obafemi yesterday because it didn't really settle for him. Picked up a little bit in the second half, but the substitution there needed to happen for sure. Carl, any other sort of thoughts from you? I mean, obviously, what did you think of Argyle's overall performance in the first half?
Yeah, coming back to Obafemi, I think you're right there. I don't think it was really the right game for him to really show his potential. I think all of us before the game probably wanted him to start just to see a bit more of him, but I think that game was more made for Hardy. What you're getting with Hardy is chasing down loose balls. He's quick, and obviously he did change the game when he came off the bench. Hopefully we'll see some more of Obafemi in the next few games, but I just don't think that was that game really where we saw his potential. And he's quite a small lad as well, and I think that a few crosses were put in, he wasn't really going to win it in the air, was he? Let's be honest.
No.
Disappointing on his home debut, but like I said, that's probably for different reasons, not him personally. Grimshaw in goal had a steady debut, I thought. His kicking was really good. His playing out from the back was quick and decisive. There he is. I wouldn't say he was really tested throughout the game, so we didn't see much of his shot stopping. I mean, no keeper would have really saved Mondle's shot. I think that was a decent strike from him. Yeah. And obviously the penalty, that's a 50-50, isn't it? I know he died the wrong way, but yeah, I think it was a strong showing from him as well.
That save he pushed onto the bar was something special. I mean, that was quite close range, wasn't it? That was onto the bar. It was amazing.
It was a really good save, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I will do is I'll just bring up now, looking at the position of that is not ideally great because of all the users, and I probably can't even see that myself.
You can see the coloured bars, I suppose.
Say again?
So you can see the coloured bars, which bar's longer, whatever, so yeah, you can see.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just going to bring it up on my phone anyway, just so I can read it out, because for me, I'm on my PC here. But I think, sort of the stats from the game, we've got shots on target here. We got 8 to Sunderland, 6 to Plymouth. Shots off target 4 to Plymouth, 5 to Sunderland. I think it did feel like that. I mean, it was the free kick with the one that Grimshaw tipped over the bar. But is it fair to say, Travis, I think I alluded to it earlier, there wasn't that clinical. I thought the biggest concern for me from Sunderland was going to be, like Stoke, we gave Stoke a lot of chances and they couldn't put a decent ball on goal or score. And I thought if Sunderland get those chances, they're going to do that. Is that fair? Is that fair to say it was a bit sloppy from your forward line compared to normal?
Well, to be honest, yes and no in reality, because we've always played kind of like that as well. Like, we've been quite lucky when it comes to goals. Like, we don't get the easy goals, or for example, like late on last season, we always just try to look for like the tap-ins, like get that one lucky shot and get like the easy goal. While now, like for the start of the season, we start to take more shots on and try and shoot more outside the box and take it on when they see the gap. And I don't, fair enough, we getting the points that we needed for the first 3 games, and I feel like the lads have learned like they need to try and keep doing it. But I feel like for me, it's more the learning curve at the moment with the lads, since we are a young team as well. I feel like, try to learn them to take them shots on board. Even, sometimes you might go off target. We might test some keepers out. It might not be goals, but you never know what's going to happen when the ball leaves your foot.
No, exactly. And what will be interesting actually from this result is how those young players sort of pick up in the next game, and will they just get on with it? I did see your manager's post-match interview and stuff, so it'd be interesting to see how they pick up from that. I mean, the other stats, there was 3 corners to 5. We had 2 offsides for you, none for Argyle, which is mad when you think you normally feel there's loads of offsides in a game for whatever reason. 15 fouls, we beat you on that to 13 to you. Yellow cards were even. There was, to be fair, the ref didn't give out too many cards in that first half, but the second half, early on, he just seemed to dish them out left, right and centre.
I feel like for us, we came out nervous because we knew that you tested us the first half. In my opinion, I think players would have just said, right, we've gotten the penalty, we just need to sit back and defend, and that's what I feel like we've done as well, that second half as well. But I feel like for our players that stood out as well, like Joe, Mundell, Roberts, it's more like we relied more on 3 players because I feel like our defence didn't hardly have much to say, because I feel like every time we got the ball, they were trying to just clear it away, especially 09. The amount of times that he cleared it away, like the amount of times that you're on the counter-attack and pressing us, and it just felt like we faked and just booted out for a throw-in for you. It was just really sloppy, and I feel like we just went too nervous.
Yeah,
and as well, what I think as well that's happened with us, like I said before, like we bring our subs on late.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I feel like we've done, but I didn't feel like we utilised our bench as much as what we needed to. Yeah, we brought on the players that we should have, but I feel like we should have had that more defensive side come on as well.
Yeah, no, it's I think there's definitely, because I felt you started a little bit sharper actually at the very start of the second half, and then not a few sort of 5-10 minutes maybe if that into it, and then we started to sort of get a little bit more control. I brought Blaz in, who's been a long-term follower as well and likes to come in and give his view. Evening, Blaz, how are you feeling tonight, mate?
Good, thank you. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely good, mate. I'm an F1 fan as well, so and a big Williams fan. So it was a cracking F1 race today. So it's been a great weekend.
I've still got a bit of a sore throat for how much I shouted when we scored at the last minute when Judge scored.
Yeah, to be fair, even myself, I think we're all sounding fairly decent for those of us that were there yesterday. Because last night I was horrendous.
Yeah.
So
especially the Andy show.
Yeah, so a big.
I didn't help.
I'm
a bit tired because I got stuck out Reading for 2 hours because someone having that Paddington. I got stuck in Reading for a good hour or so.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. Someone's Dylan, I think it was, asked the question. I'll bring it up now. Now this might be a bit controversial. Let me just move it to the left. Now, although Edwards was definitely man of the match, and we'll come on to him as well in a minute. For me, Mumba has probably been the most improved player for me so far this season, and barring the goal, I did still give him man of the match because Edwards is one, and I love Edwards. Such a great name as well, surname. But he's done so much and he's proven that, which is fantastic. But Mumba, when I gave him a lot of stick last season, I just thought had a hell of a game. Yes, he messed up and he was out of position for the penalty, and now I know that he didn't really touch the player. It's fair to sort of say he caused that, but I know Andy disagrees with me, don't you, Andy? But I sort of felt he was sort of my star man. Blaz, what's your thoughts on Mumba? Let's get your thoughts on him.
I feel like he's been quite good to start the season, but I feel like it could be a decent idea to try him in midfield, but we always see him drifting towards midfield. Then put someone like or better, or even throw another left back.
Yeah. It's very noisy at your end, Blaz, so struggling to hear you clearly, to be honest, at the minute.
He's got some chili oil there, I think.
He's got, what did you say?
Some Mama Liz's chili oil.
I was trying to play it, but it's failing to play on me, which is always typical, isn't it?
That's a flip for in its own right.
I tell you what, Rye, bringing you back in, mate. What did you think of Mumba? Obviously, it's his 100th game for us, which is incredible. Obviously, our highest signed player so far. What was your thoughts? Which is incredible. Obviously, our highest signed player. I'm getting feedback from someone. Obviously, our highest signed player. I'm getting feedback from someone.
Guys, get yourself on mute if you're not talking. I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, don't know who that was. Right. Oh, Ryan, you still there?
Well, it might have been right. That was reverberant.
Yeah, go on, Andy. Give it. Tell us why you didn't think Mumba had such a great game from your opinion.
Well, do you know, he had a good game. I'm not saying he didn't have a good game.
Yeah,
but,
sorry.
He got done to the goal. They were playing like triangles around him. The three sort of Sunderland players were just playing little triangles, and he was just running back and forward. And of course, by the time they played the final third into the box, Mumba was already sort of a couple of yards off the pace. He did get back, but as you saw, he tapped the player on the back and over he went. So, but yeah, I mean, I've seen comments about him being out of position, and he has been out of position. For me, I think the player of the match and someone who's underrated is Cornel Schuch.
Yeah, Sux is whatever the correct pronunciation is. He was definitely solid. I think the out of position point. This is where Rooney sort of has said that he always wants his sort of wing backs to sort of get involved in the game, and I think they're allowing a few, or he allows players to sort of come in differently. Like Mumba cut in and came and started sort of. Even at the end of the Stoke game, I think it was a Stoke game, he was sort of almost like in a striker position, but he came inside as well and had that shot just before I think it was before their second, their equaliser, if I can recall, but certainly before obviously Edwards, which could have put the game to bed. So, that was great to see him having a go. For sure. So look, 100th appearance for me. The most improved player. In my opinion, this year, because I was critical of him. I'll get him off the screen now. I'm going to bring in, and then we'll start talking about that great second half. Let me just get it on. We've still got a couple in there. I'm picking up on, while I try and get this system just to load up, because I know Mikey Boy's waiting to join in as well. So just going to go down.
You've got a little minute, mate. I've got a little party trick for you.
Yes, do you want to do that now? We'll have our little interval segment.
The Grumpy Loyal is one of some love guys, right? So he has got a red chili, right? And he's got some kicking Carolina Reaper sauce.
He's been to the co-op.
Give us a minute. I'm going to put you up there for a minute.
Being on the Jack Daniels, I think.
Carolina
Reaper and some Mama Liz's chili.
Come on then. You're not going to seriously do it now, are you?
You're not going to eat it, are you?
Oh my! Now, can we just check first? You must be confident enough to know that you can handle chilies, or this is going to be majorly embarrassing. Hey, this is supposed to be a professional podcast. Deary me. How are you surviving there, Andy? Andy, can you give us your second half analysis now, please?
Second half analysis? That was hot stuff, mate. I'll go with hot stuff. Second half, we were brilliant. I thought we handled that game very well second half. We came out a different animal.
Andy, what was that?
I don't know, but it was brilliant. It wasn't me, mate.
Oh, the joys of sound effects. I'm
say what this sauce. This sauce.
If people are joining for the first time tonight, honestly.
Yeah, we're trying to grow here. I think people are going, it's a nut house, not an Argyle podcast.
That is kicking Carolina Reaper sauce, that is. And I'll tell you what. Carl, that was you want to try that, Carl, mate?
I'd rather not.
No, exactly. We'll leave that to you. We've got a few others that.
I thought Argyle were like that second half. We were on them. We were on fire against them, and we were a different side. We were sort of all right. We conceded that goal. It was a scrappy goal to concede because it went right through the defence, and I don't think any keeper would have got that. But oh man,
yeah.
That is kicking.
Yeah, I bet it is. I've just brought Mikey Boy in. Evening, Mikey. Ryan's back in as well on his backup account from the looks of it. I like the fact that he's got a backup account for when his other one fails, for whatever reason that is. But yeah, Mikey Boy. Evening, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad, thanks. How about yourself?
Yeah, good. Were you at the game yesterday?
Yeah, mate, I was at the game, yeah. Mixture of emotions, but obviously, happy circumstances in the end. Like, massive 3 points, and it takes off, like, loads of pressure off Rooney. Yeah,
absolutely, doesn't it? Speaking of that, actually, the celebrations, for those that haven't seen it, go and watch the videos. They're all on the, Argyle site. But the sort of the clips of the goal going in and also the final whistle celebrations. I mean, I think it was Obafemi and Sissoko ran up to Rooney, and they were hugging, at the end, and that was just fantastic to see. Really, it just goes to show that everybody has been, every player and every coach, everyone involved in the club, everybody's been pushing in that team to try and get this win, haven't they, Mike? So there's a lot of release of tension, pressure, and all sorts there, wasn't there?
Yeah, 100%. It's good to see. It kind of reminds me of what we had a few years ago. Obviously Foster kind of came in and that didn't work, but it's nice to see we've kind of got that togetherness again, with everyone together, like the players, the fans. It feels like we're all getting together again.
Yeah, it does. It's and look, I have to sort of always do the disclaimer of it's one game, and it's a result. I mean, obviously West Brom is going to be tough on Saturday. They won 3-0, they 1-0 up in the first half. Came back and they looked sharp. And so it's away from home. I mean, how fantastic would it be to get a win away from home as well as a win at home back to back? Nothing's impossible, but look, I hope we can take this forward and certainly improve. What was your sort of well, I suppose it's an obvious one if you go for the Edwards goal, but was there any standouts for you in the game? Any players that we haven't mentioned that stood out for you?
Yeah, obviously, like you kind of said, is obviously everyone's going to talk about Edwards. The one thing, obviously, with him is he's incredible just because at his age, it's like he never changes. He always goes 110%. I agree with what you said, massively. But I can also see, Andy's point with, Barley a little bit. I've been massively, impressed with him, of how he's come and improved. The only thing I worry is, games against West Brom. It's away from home, whether we can get away with Barley as a left-back. He's brilliant going forward. It's just that defensiveness.
Yeah. So who would you drop him? Who would you put in his position?
That's the kind of only issue, is I don't feel like the only kind of left back really I think you can get away with even then is Galloway. And I don't think he's an out and out left back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
for that reason you've got to go with Barley, but I was massively impressed with Rami Al-Haj when he came on. I think he had a good game.
Yeah, actually, speaking of Rami Al-Haj, if I can find Mike, because I did grab an image of him. There he is. Sort of, I expected him to start. Just quickly, look, just to sort of say, guys, appreciate all the likes, all the gifts, all the roses, even people giving roses to each other, as I can see Lisa and Grumpy that have been doing as well in there, and hopefully not miss anybody out. Paul Booker, thanks as well earlier. Trying to keep up with the comments, appreciate our professional production that we're doing here. I think Andy looks like he's calmed down now from the Carolina Reaper chili oil. Hey, look, we want to make this a bit of a laugh. So evening to those that have dropped in recently. Josh, Jake, Ben Collins, good evening, welcome back, mate. Kevin Prince, Jezza, love that. Shawnee Boy, much appreciated. I do have PL Freddy, who's been I can't bring him in, I've got to change the settings because we got too many people in here. But look, I think second half for me, I'll just give a point on that, then I'll sort of hand over to Carl's view on it as well. I think for me, coming out, like Travis has just said, for those that are joining us, Travis is a Sunderland fan. We did sort of start going at it, kick into gear. I mean, Rooney said that, he told the players that this game is there for us to win. Just got to sharpen up a few things. I thought it was interesting as well that, with Sissoko sort of making more of an effort to get the ball into the box and dance around it. Whittaker even made a note to that and a reference to that in his post-match interview, which I thought was very telling. The pressure leading up to that goal, wicked deflection from, great shot that probably would have gone in from Callum Wright, obviously, to Whittaker, who just volleyed it. I mean, it was, I just love that. Obviously, as soon as it hit the bar, and that player, unfortunately, running in, that took the ball in the back of the net. And then obviously the penalty from Hardy, and then that sort of equaliser, which was painful to say the least. And there's a vlogger, Travis, of I don't know his name, but I saw it going around the socials, who sort of filmed himself after that goal went in, which seems to have gotten a little bit famous on the other platforms. But that Edwards comeback, I think Sunderland, probably even yourself, Travis, as well, probably thought you were going to maybe go on and win it when you got that equaliser. Would that be fair?
From my point of view, I was looking to say, like, right, we need that comeback. Yeah, we got the goal, but in my opinion, all of us are football fans. You think, right, well, we're getting a goal back, we can come back and win it. We all have that adrenaline. But in my opinion, I would have just been happy to see it through as a draw. And I feel like for me, to keep the streak going where we're not losing, because I feel like if we got the draw more than a loss, I feel like there's more a push forward. There's more saying, right, we haven't lost yet. We're not happy with a draw, but we can still bounce back and go back to a win. Why than the lads are going to have the heads down a lot more, and especially when we've got the derby next week against Middlesbrough, which is going to be tougher now than what we expected it now to be.
Yeah, it's that confidence knock, in it. I mean, Carl, sort of, overall in that second half, and the atmosphere as well, it was just an incredible thing to experience and witness as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the atmosphere obviously helped massively in the comeback, especially the last kind of 10 minutes. After their kind of equaliser, I think the crowd really sensed, because we were still on the front foot, that we sensed that we could nick it at the end.
Yeah.
And we know what the crowd can do at home park. It's been quite evident over the last few years. When it's rocking, we tend to suck the ball in the back of the net. So there's been quite a few big games where we think that could happen. Obviously, the Leicester game last season, obviously in recent memory, that it was just a cracking night, and the atmosphere, I think, brought us over the line.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring a few more, and I've switched it to grid view now on my laptop's struggling a minute. Freddie, I'm bringing you in now. I know you've been very, very patient, wanting to get in the comments there, trying to keep up with the comments. I hope my laptop doesn't crash, or that would be bad, wouldn't it? So let me just close that off for a second. Right. So Freddie, I'm going to bring you in now. So yeah, you've been itching to get some points across. So fire away, mate. Are you there?
He's not in, mate, is he? No.
Is he not? Hang on a second. I'll get him in a second. MB, do you want to give us your thoughts, buddy, as you're in?
Hi, guys.
Evening, mate.
Hello. I just think away, 3 at the back, if we were to put in Gibson, put Galloway in with Suits, because they're doing really well together,
yeah,
Barley won't be so exposed defensively. You've got him on the wing. Probably Edwards haven't got the pace, but against West Brom, Leeds, Burnley, you know, we're going there praying for a point. I just think we need to wise up to what we're doing away from home a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We have gone have tried to go a little bit aggressive on the attack, is a lot of people's views on that, away from home, and maybe we do need to sort of just be a bit more sensible in with starting those games.
Yeah, I don't think Rooney's ever done anything but the way he's played with us, like managerially. But I think it's got to be 5 when you're playing, this weekend. I can't see us beating West Brom. I'd love to, but realistically, if we get a point now, everyone's taking that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely sort of. With Rami, I think Haj can bring a big difference. It's getting his match fitness up, and it's whether or not that's wise to start him against West Brom or not. And it is a tricky one, but I think they want to sort of really go into that game sensible. I mean, I watched only bits of it today, had it on while I was doing stuff, but and they looked equally very, very sharp, on the attack. So you've got to absolutely watch for that. So we got to let's just sort of see what he does. I mean, we'll try and, if we can, preview that game this Thursday as well on here as well. But have you calmed down yet, or are you still buzzing from yesterday?
I'm calm, ready to get beat by the baggies on the road.
Are you going to the game?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, sense that. Yeah. So that's. Sorry, what's that, Andy?
I think we can go and surprise West Brom. I think West Brom, they've just gone away and beaten Portsmouth 3-0. Right? They're going to think, oh well, Plymouth aren't going to come into town. All right, they've just won 3-2 against Sunderland, but we're not Sunderland sort of thing, and that's the sort of thing that we're going to get from them. And fair play, we could go there and actually I think we're going to get a point next Saturday. Right? I
don't know if anyone's ever beaten the team top of the league 2 weeks in a row, because obviously we did Saturday.
History is going to be made, MB. You know what I mean? We can go and do it.
Could be.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
That'd be a bit of belief there, isn't we?
I'm just gonna disconnect Blaz and Rye for a second, because trying to get others in if this thing doesn't crash on me while I do it. Because poor old Freddie, I couldn't bring him in because even though I went to grid view, we still had too many in here. So he is in there now, isn't he? Actually.
Come on, wake up! Who's doing this hosting here? For goodness' sake!
I know. I need a better computer, clearly. So, Freddie, can you hear us? And are you there, mate? You are, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, go on, buddy. Go on.
Yeah.
You've welcome back to the live pod. So appreciate you coming on. So, what's your thoughts, mate?
I think it was a good game. The first half we were all right, but we just couldn't slot our chances away. I mean, Callum Wright had some good chances, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And second half, I think we just kept piling the pressure on and knew it would come, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if you pick up Callum Wright and sort of the chances that you refer, I mean, the biggest miss of the first half was JB's, right? But Callum Wright did overlap with Whittaker on 2 occasions where he got into the box, and he just didn't. I think someone down there sort of said he just didn't lift up his head, and he just sort of like tried to then smack the ball across. But it was sort of 2 good manoeuvres with Whittaker, who I felt was getting mega frustrated on that right in the first half, because he was more a case of coming back actually than going forward with anything. So were you at the game as well, Freddie? Yeah.
Yeah, I was sat right behind our attacking goal in the first half.
Oh, nice one. Yeah. So you're sort of buzzing. You're happy. What do you think then? We just spoke about West Brom. So what do you think we'll get out of West Brom? Do you think we'll get anything?
Yeah, I think we'll get a point.
Yeah,
I think it'll be tough, but we'll get a point.
Yeah, I think. Well, we'd love a point. Sort of as MB was just sort of saying. Sort of it's going to be a difficult one. He's going there. I've just noticed actually, and forgive me for not picking up on it, but Harvey hasn't joined us tonight for one reason or another. So I don't know if he's put it in our group chat. So
I think he's gone to KFC, Mike.
He's what? Sorry.
He's at KFC.
He's what? Literally at KFC.
Yeah, with his
good.
Well, it hasn't opened yet. Are they checking out to make sure everything's working in there? So yeah, he's a regular away fan as well, so he'll be going to the West Brom game. So we'll definitely get him on Sunday for his post-match analysis on there. Just going to quickly scan some of the comments. Freddie, look, appreciate you for coming on and giving your thoughts. Much enjoy that each time. Thank you for sharing. Trying to look at these comments. Swap right for El Hadj, and that's the 11 for the Saturday, I think. Yeah, that was MB who was just on with us now. Don't show any weakness. Mikey Boy replying to Carl. I can see us winning. So Connor's been in the waiting room. So let me just load up the multi-guest so I can just bring you in. It might be easier for me to actually log in under my phone on the Block 9 and actually do it. I think, Andy, Carl, can you let people in?
Yeah, I can let people in.
Yeah, do you want to, it just because it... Yeah, just let Connor in. I can see there's a couple of others that are in there. Sean's been sat in there as well. I know he likes to get his we'd like to get his views, so we'll bring him in a minute. But
I'll bring Connor in.
Yeah, cool.
And Sean, if you want to bring Sean in, I'll bring Sean in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Check my notes as well. Ooh. There we go. As it adjusts to the view. Connor, evening, mate. How you doing? What was your thoughts on yesterday? And I can see that you're obviously predicting that we'll win on Saturday, and I'm going to go with it as well. I want to agree with you on that one. Go on, mate.
Yeah, good, thanks. I thought it was buzzing. I didn't think Mumba tracked back quick enough. I think the way he's actually working the team is good. I can see us play exactly the same formation, but with the tactics he used second half. I think fair play to Sunderland. They played their best, and to be honest, they're a good team, and if we did it and they were top and unbeaten, we could do it against West Brom.
Yeah,
absolutely, mate. Yeah.
That's exactly, isn't it? Is carry the momentum into the game. Sort of. I get what MB's saying, and we do have to be a little bit more sensible. But I think if we can play and start with maybe someone like Rami, he could shore up a few things. I would definitely not start with Wright if Hadj doesn't start. I mean, even Forshaw for me would be a better option. But what would you give as a score prediction for Saturday?
2-1 Argyle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll be we'll come back obviously and see on the Sunday following. So, any other thoughts to give? I mean, you sort of have you always been a fan of Rooney, and has it just been for you as well a bit of a patience waiting game for things to sort of settle and gel and get that win? What's your thoughts overall with him?
To be honest, I didn't think much of Rooney coming from his previous jobs, but he's actually found from the second half, he's actually found the tactics work.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think he needs to carry them over to the other games, and we should pick up more points. I think now he's got that first win, he's got a lot more pressure on his back to try get that second win away.
Yeah.
Or home. I think in the next 4 games, it's most probably the hardest run we'll have.
Yeah, definitely is, yeah.
I still think that a lot of people disagree what Rooney's doing, but he's seen the improvement, and the improvement each week has been unbelievable, with the players changing their way of style to adapt to Rooney. Like under Foster, we didn't see that adaptation. Under Rooney, we've seen that adaptation going into these big games.
Yeah, totally agree. I was just going to say, there's a question earlier on. I think Marcus asked a question earlier on with us playing sort of Rooney ball now, it's looking good now. We're getting, it sort of coincides a little bit with Schumacher and Lowe. What do we sort of think comparisons are there? I think we're getting back to that sort of style of football again, where we're playing some really fast flow and attractive football. And I don't think Sunderland really could cope with us in the second half, because we just went at them second half. Deservedly won the game.
That's what Marcus is saying as well, isn't it? The aggressiveness in the second half.
That's harsh to you, Travis. But I thought we deserved it to edge it on the second half.
Yeah.
Just performances on its own.
To be honest, I agree with you. You came out more for it, and we just sat back, and I think we had our heads down, knowing that you were posing a threat with us more. And we weren't expecting. I feel like we weren't expecting you to come out fighting. Why? I feel like as a fan, you have to look at the wider picture, why the players is focused on just that match itself.
Yeah. So I just saw a comment as well. Would we risk sort of dropping JB, and having Mumba in that sort of position on the left?
It's difficult because JB had a really, really good second half. His first half, it was just, and he's another player that since missing pre-season has actually developed really, really well and was going from strength to strength. But the first half, he was just shocking for whatever reason. The second half, he did come good. So yeah, it's difficult really. I think we'll need him against West Brom.
I think in most games this season he started off quite slowly, but as the games kind of progressed, he's grown more into the game. And he looks to get onto the ball a bit more and kind of challenge players and tracking back. But the first half of the game, he just seems way off it for some strange reason.
For the first half, I thought we didn't actually see any midfielders in midfield. They were all pushing out to the wide sides, to the wingers. Which allowed them to break the ball down in front of the midfield. So there was actually no midfields to actually break them down. Randall was dropping back in defence where he should be in pressing them. I didn't think of us pressing first half. We pressed more in the second half because we was 1-0 down. And then obviously the press actually worked in the second half a lot better than the first half.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just taking some background graphics off because it was just out with the performance on my machine with us having so many in. So yeah, look, Connor, appreciate you coming on and giving some thoughts. Just reading a few more comments that are flowing in. And also, look, guys, those that haven't done, I know we're nearly an hour in now, so but give us a share, spread the word for what we're doing, bringing sort of Argyle and football chat, to TikTok. It's something we've all started to enjoy. We all have obviously our own accounts. Andy's doing a lot with his as the Grumpy Loyal. For those that haven't heard yet, those that are new and joining us tonight, that's an anagram of Plymouth Argyle, which a bit of a genius one that. And Carl, the Green Giant, we're all there growing. Andy does a lot of his own lives as well. I equally will do some stuff. It's great just to be on, and we all love football, so it's good to get in here and bring in fans from other teams. Like we've got Travis tonight, who was on with us the other day. A few others that come in. The more the merrier. And it's good to discuss things going. So I'm going to come on to just check the. Sean, who's been following us. Sean is part of Jana's on tour as well with Richard and Sam, and obviously they got their vlog up yesterday. So Sean, I did bump into you today in our range store in Plymstock, so I hope you spent loads of money, or your mum and dad anyway. But yeah, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Good. Are you still buzzing from yesterday? No doubt.
Yeah, buzzing.
So what do you think then on, and I must admit, I saw Richard, the video clip, obviously, that Richard took of up in the Mayflower stand. It is a great view up there. For those that have never been in that top tier over there, it is, if you get the chance. It's a bit squished in the seats, but it is a great view. But that video was great. I see he tried to keep the camera as still as possible while cheering like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't watched the whole blog, but I've watched bits of it.
Yeah, but you were there. You sit next to him, don't you?
No, I don't let Rich sit next to me.
Too much time with him pre-game with all the programmes selling, yeah?
And he's too much of chatting. He chats too much.
I don't like people who chat too much. No, they're horrible people, absolutely. So, what do you think against West Brom then, Sean? What do you think we're going to do?
Oh, I'll take a point.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The sensible head, but yeah, the heart says go out and win it. That's fair. The sensible head, but yeah, the heart says go out and win it. Who's back on with feedback? The sensible head, but yeah, the heart says go out and win it. Who's back on with feedback? The sensible head, but yeah, the heart says go out and win it. Yeah. Who's back on with feedback? Is that Ryan again? No. Oh, it might have been.
He's got his mic off. It might have been Travis. I'm not sure, Travis, so it might have been you, mate.
It definitely wasn't me this time.
Ryan, you've been sat there patiently. What's your thoughts on the Saturday game? What do you reckon we'll get out of that?
So, with West Brom going the way they are, I mean, they've won 4, drawn 1, gone to the top of the league. I said it last season, and it happened when it was a 0-0 draw. I honestly think we're going to get a 0-0 draw again.
Yeah.
And I'd happily take that as well, because a point on the road, 3 points at home to Sunderland, who were top of the table, a point at West Brom would be good for us. Yeah, it would be. It would be. I mean, we got, is it Luton after that, and then is it Burnley, and then Blackburn? Have I got that in the right order? Yeah, it is Luton at the next home game, which is on the Friday.
Dreading Blackburn. Blackburn are flying at the minute. They're one of those clubs that are just hitting form at the right time, scoring goals. Put Bristol City to the sword yesterday.
No, that was a different game. Yeah, sorry, no, forget that. But yeah, I think I did notice that they won yesterday, and another good showing. So, it's I think going into that international break, if we can pick up a few more points, as it's quite clear, you're not far off from that sort of true sort of mid upper end of the table. So things can swing very quickly, and notwithstanding as well, Luton got their first win yesterday, so they're going to have, if they have another result in their next game before we go to play them even, that's going to be quite interesting for sure. Just checking back in some of the comments, we got a lot of people still with us, so appreciate you all for sticking around. Are you there, Andy? You're flicking on and off. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I've just bought Finn PAFC in, so welcome,
gotcha.
Finn.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Evening,
Hello.
Finn. Welcome back, mate. How you doing?
Evening, lads. You alright?
Yeah, good, mate. So, did you go yesterday?
Unfortunately not. I had busy things on, but I watched on the TV, and yeah.
Yeah, did you watch it live on the TV?
Yeah, watched it live, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to see the whole game then. So you must have been screaming and running around the lounge, were you, when Edwards scored that winner?
I was buzzing. I was absolutely buzzing, and there's just a bit of relief in the club, like obviously Rooney coming in with a tough season last year, but not like the best of starts, but obviously getting the first win on the board is obviously the best thing yet.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I think that's, the halftime talk, I think, would have been, really good. The way they come out, whatever Rooney said made a difference. And that's the biggest thing, I think, against all the naysayers with Rooney, is this team, different squad, different club to the likes of Birmingham, but this team and these players seem to want to, play for Rooney. And I mentioned it earlier, the celebrations, at the end there with Obafemi and Sissoko going up to, I think it was Sissoko, or it might have been JB, but going up to Rooney and that, it was just, it's just like, do you know what? Yeah, that was a massive relief. So, yeah, so a good weekend, ready to attack the week ahead. Any other thoughts? What do you think against West Brom, Finn?
I mean, we've done it against the league leaders so far. So yeah, are they league leaders still?
No, West Brom are now after today.
Oh yeah, obviously, hopefully we can do it again, but it's tough again. Obviously, going away this time, not always a good thing coming forward going away. Obviously,
No, we've
I thought
definitely got to get this situation sorted, haven't we, Finn? In terms of like we just can't seem to grab a win away. You know, I mean, we just got to get a point as well. You know, at least get something out of these games. You know, different squad, well, not different squad, but different players that have joined, different manager. I don't know. I'm never one to look back on things because it's like different circumstances, but we just can't seem to shake that, can we? We got it under Foster, but you know, can we consistently get wins away?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? We showed some metal against QPR, didn't we? Really, we showed a little bit of metal against QPR, getting that 1-1 draw with like 10 men. Well, effectively for most of the game. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was like a win that game, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that one shot,
Yeah,
wasn't
that
it?
was
Just
good.
one shot all game, and that was Whittaker's goal.
Yeah.
So I just
Are
noticed.
you lot going West Brom?
Say again.
Are you guys going West Brom?
No, I don't tend to do. Harvey, who would be on here with us, normally goes to every away game.
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh, are you all nice? So Finn, you'll have to
Yeah.
come. You'll have to come back. I know it's late, and obviously you do sound young, but yeah, you definitely got to come on and give us Finn's analysis of the West Brom game live.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
But
awesome.
yeah, I thought yesterday, obviously, first half it was a bit flat, really, wasn't it? And Sunderland dominated. But obviously, I thought we came back out and I thought we had a bit of fire in the belly and obviously showed Sunderland wrong. But I thought their penalty was a bit soft, really.
Yeah, it was. It was certainly.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a good decision.
No, it wasn't, and the ref probably realised that in giving Hardy's partly, I think. I just seen someone ask about, do we know Pieface, and Andy's replied, I don't know him personally either. I do know the guys that he goes to a lot of away games with, the Banana Bus Boys. Jason, who organises that, sits next to me. But yeah, I know Pieface does his stuff on here, etc. But yeah, don't know him personally. I think I'm just looking at MB's just made mention it in the comments. You know, when we look if we say after the international break, it's Cardiff away, and then we've got Millwall away. So 2 away games back to back. Looks like a Saturday and a Tuesday night game. That.
Tell you what, Mike, they're winnable. There's 2 games.
Yeah, this is what is so. Yeah, this is what's so incredible about this league, though, isn't it? Is that I alluded to it at the start because Marcus put it brilliantly last night on a live. Is that we lose to Wednesday 4-0, Sunderland beat them 4-0, we beat Sunderland 3-2. I think you just got to look at every game and take it as it comes, because if someone's in the bottom half, they could easily do one over you, and someone in the top half, as we proved yesterday, you can do the same back to them. So. Carl, sort of bringing you back into the fold. Sort of what do you reckon that next run of games? How many points do you reckon are in it for us there?
Oh, good question. I think we got.
What's grand funding, guys?
Trying to get obviously a point away from home is always a good result. Doesn't matter if you're playing top of the league or bottom of the league. I think a point away from home is always decent. And you look at trying winning your home games, don't you? So obviously Luton haven't had the best of starts. I know they've got their first win like we have now. Obviously they only got 1 goal against Millwall, so it wasn't like an out-and-out, dominant display from them either. So I can see us taking the game to Luton at home, and why not?
Yeah.
If we can get a point at West Brom, that'd be fantastic. Obviously Burnley away, that's going to be the real challenge. I think that's going to be difficult to get much out of that game, because they are, really impressive, aren't they? Especially on the attack. So yeah, maybe 4 or 5 points if we're lucky.
Yeah, mate, we got a West Brom fan.
Yeah,
West Brom fan. You're really welcome here, mate. What's your view on next week's game? Come and have a chat with us.
Yeah, no worries. I think you guys played well yesterday. Was it? Yeah, yesterday. Sorry, my cat's meowing at me. Yeah, I think it was a good result because Sunderland were absolutely flying, weren't they? And I know you guys were struggling. And I was a bit worried when you first took on Rooney because obviously we saw what he was like at Birmingham. But I think with the result and the way your players reacted, it showed that there is a bit of fight and they do actually. Because I know at Birmingham a lot of the players fell out with him, but there doesn't seem any of that at Plymouth at the moment.
No.
I think it'll be a tough game. Every game in the Championship is tough. It doesn't matter whether we're playing Plymouth or Leeds, Plymouth are going to want to stay up and, potentially push for more. So Hawthorns is a really tough place to come. It's a fortress at the minute under Carlos Corbehan.
Yeah.
We haven't lost a game all season, but you know what? It'll be a tough game, and I'm looking forward to you guys coming down to the Hawthorns.
Yeah,
I just remember West Brom last season coming to Home Park, and I think you beat us 2-0 at Home Park, but we saw a lot of your fans in the Brit pub before the game, and they were outstanding. They were a class bunch of lads, they really were. So, yeah, I always like West Brom.
Yeah, I think I do. I'm not going to sit here and lie and just because I'm on your live. I do think we'll win. But obviously it's not just because it's Plymouth. It's just I think we're in really good form at the moment. If you look at our bench as well, you could literally field another starting 11 from the signings what we've made this season, especially in the latest window. And I think it'll be a tight game, but I think we'll win 2-1.
I think
Who
that's...
would you say that we got to look out for then in your side?
Say that again. Sorry, Carl, say that again.
About what players that we need to keep an eye out for in West Brom next Saturday?
You've got Tom Fellows. The guy is absolutely unreal. He's probably one of the best wingers in the league. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a West Brom fan. Obviously, you saw in the window there was a lot of interest from Premier League sides. We managed to keep him. Every single game he gets an assist, and he's unreal. He's a workaholic. Obviously, Josh Madger 5 in 5, and he's looking on fire. We got Mikey Johnston, who's another fantastic player. We never actually thought we was going to get him in because, there's a lot of financial problems at West Brom at the moment, but we managed to sign him for $3 million. Well, you know what? Kyle Bartley at the back at the moment has been sensational for us. He's been a brick at the back wall. I know you guys have got Morgan Whittaker, who I'm massively fond of. I think he's an absolutely cracking player. I watched Plymouth a couple of weeks back, and I was impressed by is it Sissoko?
Yeah.
That winger. I think he's looked good. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. He might have been absolutely awful. I didn't watch the whole game yesterday.
He's one of those. Sorry, can I just what's your name, mate? Sorry, rather than call you West Brom Fan TV. Connor, yeah. So, Sissoko's all about the sort of step overs and stuff. And when in the first half he did too much of that, and they clearly man-marked him because they put 2 or 3 players on him because he kept holding the ball too long, and he drew too much attention from the defenders, and then he got closed out. In the second half, he did start to do exactly the same thing at the start of the second half, but as the game went on, he started to pit early balls into the box. It was an early one that led, and a fierce one that led to the penalty that we awarded. It was also a fierce one into Callum Wright, before the penalty that deflected, and Whittaker got the goal. So he has potential to achieve a lot, but you just sort of, there's glimpses where you think there's maybe a reason why he hasn't, gone to in a respectful way to ourselves, gone to a bigger club, because his finishing product, isn't there yet. But he took a shot just outside the 18-yard box, and boy, did that dip and rattle off the crossbar. If that had gone in, it would have been a wonder goal. So, just thinking, are you? We've got. I think there's another West Brom. It might be Dino Talks Football. I could be wrong, but he was on with us last week. Yeah, thanks, Andy. He's on live now. He was streaming during the game actually earlier on. But it would be good to come on and talk about the match as well next Sunday. We might preview it as well, Connor. So, equally, if you're planning on going on, I'm sure one of us could pop onto that as well. So it'd be good to get. Do you podcast or do you stream about the game on your own channel?
I've got a YouTube channel. It's just the same name as my TikTok.
Well, fair enough. And come on with us then if you're happy to. Whatever the result, as Travis, is on with us tonight. So let's get you on and next Sunday, and we'll see what the result is. Hopefully. We have a great game.
West Brom Fans TV channel on YouTube, and subscribe to it, guys. All right, and make sure you support them as well. It's all about football, really.
Just one question before I leave.
Yeah, go
on. I know I mentioned Morgan Whittaker. Obviously, I don't watch Plymouth every single week. So who would you say we have to look out for apart from him?
Go on, Andy.
It's a tough one. I would say one to watch out for would be obviously Sissoko. He's very skillful, but he's a sort of player that will not get the ball across into the box as quick as we'd like him to. He sort of dilly-dallies a bit, tries to turn one way, then the other way. Another one, maybe free kicks, Adam Randall. Ryan Hardy, on his days, Ryan Hardy's a great player. If he gets a one-on-one with your keeper, then you'll probably score. But yeah, those are the three I sort of look out for.
I would chuck in, if he starts, I would chuck in Obafemi, because I think he could be interesting in an away game. And then you've got, obviously, our latest signing, Rami Al-Haj, if he's fit enough to start. He hadn't played since April, so he came on for sort of 15 minutes or whatever it was. And the defensive line, a couple of people mentioned it in the comments earlier, sort of Gibson and Souks, seem an absolute solid pairing. So from a defensive side, that they're going to be hard to sort of break down. But yeah, Carl, anyone that you would pick out that we haven't mentioned?
No, I think you've mentioned them all. Obviously, Dan Grimshaw probably in goal as well. We'll see him for the first away game in the league, and obviously his footwork obviously is decent, and that should give us a good starting block from the defence into attack. So yeah, probably his distribution is going to be key next Saturday. I think we've said most of our kind of key players, haven't we?
Yeah, well, look, Connor, I think, it's going to be exciting. Obviously, we're going to be buzzing. I hope you don't just go and send us straight back down to earth. But let's just hope, like yesterday, let's just hope it's a great game. That's what any of us care about is, as long as your team pits in a shift, you're on a run, we're improving, it's great football. We'll have a good number of away fans because it's not too bad a journey to West Brom, a few hours or so that, should sell out your away end if it hasn't been confirmed already. So, look, absolutely look forward to it. And we'll pick up with you next week and see how the game has gone. So thanks for coming on, mate.
Appreciate you, mate. All the best after next week.
And Andy, can you just have a look who's Mikey Boy wanted to come back in just to say a few pieces possibly on West Brom, but if you can have a look for us.
I should invite Mikey Boy if he's around.
My personal assistant, thank you.
Mikey Boy is...
Just while you're looking. Will it work for me now?
We should have mentioned Edwards then, really, shouldn't we? Being one of the key players.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, there is that. I'm going to come on to Edwards, actually, to sort of end it off with, to be fair.
Mikey Boy's left the room, mate.
Oh, is he? Yeah, Mikey has left the studio.
He's in the room. Mikey Boy, you're in the room. Mikey's in the room.
Yeah, I'm still here. Don't think boys.
Oh, so slap bang in the middle. Sorry, I had to slip it in there. Go on, Mikey.
Yeah, no, it's just obviously... That was the only thing I was going to say is obviously minus Sheffield Wednesday, I feel like we've been improving. And even then, with Wednesday, Rooney kind of held his hands up and said obviously he knew he made an error with everything. He admitted to making too many changes. But even with West Brom, obviously it's going to be tough because they're still a good side. I'm not saying to go there and expect a win. But the only thing I'll say is obviously a bit like Sunderland, it's still early on the season.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're unbeaten, but it's the teams they've beaten is QPR, Stoke, Portsmouth today. They're not brilliant teams either.
Yeah, fair point.
So they're not beating teams like Sheffield United and stuff like that.
Good shout. I think they're going to surprise them next week. I really do.
Yeah, I reckon we'll come away with at least a point.
Their faces, they're not going to like us playing against them, mate.
Nah, 100%. And it's obviously Connor that was in a minute ago. He said about Kyle Bartley. I could be wrong, but I swear he's in his 30s. If we play like we did on yesterday, give it to about 60th minute, put Hardy on fresh legs against him, I reckon he'll give him a run for his money.
Yeah, just looking at their results, like Sunderland, really, they've only conceded 2. So, so they've equally kept a lot of teams at bay. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy. But I think, there's going to be a lot of momentum. It's just a case of playing it smart and not just going in there thinking we can just try and have a go immediately, and ruffle their feathers. We could well do, and it might work. But, yeah, got to be certainly careful and cautious of that going on. Look, I think I want to sort of end as we've been ticking on for a decent amount of time now. Was it 1 hour 21? I want to end on, sort of Edwards. But before I do that, obviously, thank you for everybody that's come and enjoyed, gifted other people, as I said earlier, sort of giving the comments, loads of comments, and difficult to try and keep on top of. My laptop's barely holding out with having 9 of us at one point on this grid view, but it's been brilliant getting some fans' reaction, but yeah, sort of Edwards, it's just, what can you say about him? That goal to keep us in this league, and that winner last night after, Mundell sort of, tore him inside and out at times, and he managed to stick with him as best he could. But it was Mundell who was right behind him as well, and when he left him to go and slot that goal. So, fabulous, Carl, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, you're running out of words to kind of describe him now, aren't you? Yeah. I mean, he does it season after season, and he just seems to be getting better with age. I honestly didn't think his legs would take another season in the Championship. I mean, he was solid last season. Obviously, he got caught out quite a lot with the paceful wingers and strikers for the top teams, but I think he seems to have. I don't know, he's learnt a lot from last season maybe, and he's gone on to progress even more. He seems to have got more energy. He seems to be stronger in a tackle. He's more of a threat going forward. He still lacks pace, but he's gone over that age. But I still think he's smart enough to use that as a positive. And he was just he was absolutely excellent yesterday, and he completely got into Mundell's head, didn't he? Which is clever as well, because he knew he wasn't going to get much joy on that side with him running past him. So to get into him mentally, I think that was quite wise, and obviously worked in the end. But yeah, we just want now that statue to be built, don't we?
I was just going to go to Andy with that. So I'll come on, bring Ryan and back in as well in a minute. But yeah, statue, Andy, what are we saying here?
He's just been immense. I think I can only recall maybe one game that Joe Edwards has had a crap game for us. The rest of the time, he just goes above and beyond as a player. I mean, he's always hard in the tackle. His distribution is good. He'll make runs for people that really shouldn't be making at his age. He should be using a Zimmer frame. But yeah, he's just outstanding. He's a class player, and his goal yesterday, it just epitomises him, doesn't it? He didn't have to sort of rally it. He just sort of side-footed it, and it came off the keeper's foot or side and up into the net, which was a bit fortuitous for us. But that's you need to get that sometimes. You need the rub of the green sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the thing I've said before, Ryan. I'll bring you in on this one as well with Edwards. I struggle, and what worries me massively is if he gets injured or ends up getting bookings or whatever and misses games, where's the leader on the pitch coming from, Ryan?
Well, the next leader after after Joe Edwards for me is Adam Randall.
Yeah,
you can see he has qualities and quantities over what he wants to do. He wants to be that central midfielder that is a leader for Argyle.
Yeah, I think it's because the armband normally goes to Houghton, and it has gone to Gibson, and obviously Whittaker got given it under Foster, which I thought was just adding way too much pressure to Whittaker. It was almost like trying to just sort of make him feel good, to not want to leave the club, which I don't think was necessary. But yeah, I think if Randall can take on what Edwards brings, and obviously he's got Rooney's back in, after whenever asked, what player is really impressing him at the moment, then I think that's crucial to get Randall moulded into that sort of position. Because, yeah, if not, then there is a concern for me who organises everybody and gets them going when it gets tough in a game, because he's been pivotal in these games. And look, he wasn't playing against Wednesday, was he? And look what happened.
Yeah, and I just jumping in there, Mike. We sort of saw him in pre-season taking the free kicks out in Argyle and stuff like that, and working on those free kicks. And Rooney wants him to be that free kick specialist that he was, because Rooney was probably one of the best at a dead ball situation. Seen some goals even in the recent game. He played for Man United veterans in the recent game, and he scored a cracking goal from outside the box. And I think that's what he wants from Randall. He wants to chip in with some goals, and I think he will. So,
absolutely. Mike, your thoughts on Edwards?
Yeah, just more or less like you guys said, it's like, where does he want his statue? More or less, it's like he always was like 110%. It's like, especially whenever we need him, and at his age, he always just keeps going. Like Andy said, at his age, you think, how much longer can he keep going? I was like the same. It's like you look at him and you go, he's 34. most players are like slowing down by now, whereas he just seems to be getting like faster and faster, like putting everything on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
He handled that whole situation with that Mundell like very well yesterday. It's obviously, I love the bloke when he was here, but if that was someone like Sarcevic, Sarcevic would have probably headbutted him and then been sent off within 2 minutes.
Well, Sarcevic would have floored him.
Yeah, exactly. And then
I find it quite highly amusing that Joe Edwards takes it, Souks comes in and defends him.
Yeah.
And gets the booking where Joe Edwards, who on another day, the referee could have booked both players. Joe Edwards, no yellow card.
I thought he was going to book him both. I thought he was going to book both their players. And to be fair, I thought Mundell was going to walk because he put his hand in Edwards' face, as far as I can see. Might be wrong there, guys, but what are your views on that? Should he have walked for that?
Having watched it back, I would say yes, you can't just get up and then take a player down. I mean, Edwards' arms were outstretched to sort of, I mean, he did shove him in the back when he was on the floor, Mundell. But Travis, as a Sunderland fan, what you're saying, should he have stayed on the pitch?
To be honest, no. I feel like he should have went off the pitch. He shouldn't continue playing like the way he reacted. It was out of line, even for any footballer to do that, just to he might have, it was a tackle, but it's just how he went around and just turned around and just shoved him back down and just caused a massive scandal for no apparent reason.
Yeah. I tell you what, another question on that. Mundell's going to learn from playing against someone like Edwards, would you say? Has he had a tougher challenge in your first 4 games prior?
Well, yeah, in reality, it's only been a couple of matches for Mundell since we lost Clark, like I said before. But it's more, he's on the learning curve, but the problem is, it was tougher today than what it was against Portsmouth. I feel like he got in his head and knowing that you can't get past him, and I feel like he thinks that he's better than what he is at the moment, although he's still on the learning curve and still young.
Yeah, I think you have to take the confidence from players. Sorry, Andy, go on.
Yeah.
I'll just say Mundell was a class act, as was Roberts. I just thought those two was running the show.
Yeah, and Rig. Is it Rig as well? I noted.
Rig. You had a lot of good players all over the park, to be fair.
Who was Travis? Who was it out of Rig or Roberts that literally was just turning our sort of right-handed side inside out?
Roberts. Well, to be honest, we always do 1-2s like that. We always do the pyramid passing. We always have done. Even both sides of the wings, no matter what. We always try to do the passes. Job or Neil's there or Riggs there. With Hume or Serpin on that side, we always try and do good passes. That's why we do quite well along that way, or along the wings. But the problem is, it's more like it was Robertson, Hume, in my opinion. Yeah, Rig was there. He made some good passes, and Rig was there to get through. But I feel like Hume did quite a big part as well. I feel like he was quite unnoticed for Sunderland side of it. And I feel like he did step up a little bit and try to push. He was pushing forward a lot more as well, I noticed, with Hume out of his right back's position, because it's just as well like you pushing onto us as well, where you had to try and take them more of a step forward and after you as well, so then it put you more on edge so we can get the ball back.
Yeah. Well, look, I tell you what, Travis, really appreciate you sticking with us. We're on an hour and a half now, and really appreciate you coming in and giving your thoughts. And look, you're always, of course, welcome to come on any live, this live, whatever I'm doing. Andy will also, obviously, of course, welcome you when he's on his.
100%.
Join us for, certainly join us for next. It would be good to see, how you get on in that first game after the defeat to us for sure. Appreciate you coming on, mate.
Hopefully it's another loss.
No problem, guys.
Travis, all the best, mate. For the rest of the season as well. I thought Sunderland were great yesterday.
To be fair, Ryan's just noted it actually. So it will be the Ryan and Travis 5 minutes on the Pod 9 next week to see if Middlesbrough have beaten.
To be honest, I am a bit nervous about it, to be honest. I'm going to be watching it on my phone, actually, because I'm moving into uni, so it's going to be a bit of a hectic time at this. I'm moving bang on kick-off time, so I'm going to be like trying to put something in and then run over to my phone, have a look, see what's going on. Yeah, it's going to be a good game, and I'm looking forward to it.
Whereabouts you go to uni, Travis?
I'm going to Loughborough.
All right, okay, nice one.
Travis is big into his athletics.
Mate, all the very best for it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All the
I'm
best.
down for the athletics.
But not
more
next
than
week.
in the course. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going down. But yeah, football's always going to be there. Like I'm moving in and going to the Watford match away the week after, so, I'm still trying to get as much matches as possible.
Nice one.
But yeah, cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Definitely. I think, look, I'm going to end it there, folks. It's been a good evening. Thank you to everybody that's come in and, like I said, gifted, liked, shared. As we grow this on TikTok, it's good fun. We had a bit of a laugh with the chili oils coming in. Early on, quite a lot of them.
Burning.
Say again.
I'm shocked that Cole's not even started it again.
Mate, I tell you what, there's going to be a ring of fire tomorrow.
Fair play to you, Andy.
That's almost all we needed to know. I'm trying to play it again, but the laptop's killing it. Is killing it. But look.
Repo and some Mama Lisa's chili.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
It's all good fun. Look,
that guy as well. He's a mad chili man, and he eats chilies. More than I eat. Pardon me, Vicar. Anyway, Travis won't come back again. We're misbehaving, guys.
Oh dear.
Hey,
guys, have a brilliant evening. Thanks for dropping in, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
good
See you
fun.
later,
Cheers,
mate.
everybody.
See you later on.
Catch you later. Bye.
And Travis, thanks for coming in, mate. Bless you, mate.